And we kick it off with, would you say the top babyface in AEW, the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay? Would you say that he is the top good guy in AEW right now?
Well,
In the
Kenny
traditional
Omega
sense.
just returned, but is Kenny Omega going to stay that way? I floated this idea last week, and maybe it's still alive.
He takes on Will Ospreay, that is, Hercules. No, I'm actually kidding. It's Brian Cage, who looks like Hercules. Go look back at an 80s photo of Hercules and look at Brian Cage. Same fucking person.
You mean the wrestler Hercules? Yeah.
Yes.
Theo says, I can't wait till All Elite Wrap-Up has a call-in section. Well, you can do what Ash does. You can send an audio clip in to aewrapup@gmail.com, and we'll play that.
We will always play that. Yes.
Or a video, or type it out.
UnPG. Or what was his name?
You at UnPGBL.
Send us something in.
Yeah, we could venture into some UnPG things, right?
Listen, we need to have it recorded.
There's some lines we won't cross anymore that maybe we would have crossed then, but we could still be UnPG here.
Did you hear my rant earlier? Anyhow, so we got Will Ospreay, Brian Cage, and they're doing the wrestle, right? Wrestle. And guess what? Ospreay wins. After the match, though,
Ospreay won?
Yeah. Archer ambushes Will Ospreay, swarming him with strikes. So Kenny Omega comes out, and again, hate to nitpick, but guys, I know what we're watching is not a real fight. However, this hit to the gut of a chair, Lance Archer just immediately bends over and looks back and waits for a chair shot to the back while Brian Cage just stands there. Like, let's make it a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, this is dire and like violent. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, I would rather it be ugly. Like you miss time, you fall. Like that's more realistic than, I understand there's a time and point for the pomp and circumstance and the large flip and the guy standing under the lights, but like this ain't it, right? Beat down time ain't it.
Like Lance Archer just immediately like.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you don't have to choreograph it is what I'm saying. Like get out there and just you got to wind up with your ass kicked, but like let's not like, and then you'll hit me in the back with the chair when I duck under. Like just go out there and have a fight.
Well, and take a page from Terry Funk. Obviously, he's the greatest of all time, but what I mean by that is his stuff was ugly, right? There was a lot of ugliness in his kind of wrestling and presentation. So take a page out of that, add some authenticity to it. Now, with that being said, let's finish up this segment because I will give kudos to someone at the end of this segment. So Archer and Brian Cage beating up on Ospreay. Kenny Omega comes out. Well, that then brings out Fletcher and Takeshita. They jump him. They have the numbers. They stand over. Here's where I would say credit to Kenny Omega. He kept continually fighting. So they tried to do the like, we stand over you. Let's take a picture. Ospreay and Kenny are down. And Kenny was like, no, I'm going to try to hit you again. And then they would hit him again more. And then he'd be like, no, I'm going to keep trying to hit him again more, to where credit to Will Ospreay as well. He, I am assuming, ad-libbed and then like laid over Kenny Omega so that they would stop beating him up. But I did like that. I like the like, don't just lay down because you took a clothesline or whatever.
Well, so rewinding to Collision, which we don't normally cover a whole lot here. The Don Callis family had a segment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was, I liked this, right? Where this was very like movie-esque, right? And I think I was a little upset. I was like, why stuff like this on Dynamite? When I see Don Callis family on Dynamite, let's do that, right? Like we can highlight these guys a little better. And he said, who said there's only 5 of us, right? Because one of the guys was like, there's 5 of us. And so, remember, I floated the idea of Kenny Omega potentially being the bad guy here, or are we just being led down to think that and somebody else is involved here?
I would think someone else is involved.
I would think so too, but man.
But it also feels like, well, we would get the Kenny Omega Will Ospreay match. How would we do it?
Back to Kenny Omega in the suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The cleaner, the fun jackets. I was going to grab the action figure, but I don't want to tip all of them over.
Domino effect over there, yeah.
But it could be. Here's the thing: if it is someone not Kenny Omega, I don't want a net new person. I want someone that's
It's got to be
already in the
impactful,
company.
right?
Yeah, but don't make it
Yeah,
the
true.
newest. Yeah, like
But
I
who
don't
could
want
it
a
be
new
then? I'm
signing.
like, it needs somebody to be impactful. I don't want this to be, because again, is the Don Callis family, is there a main guy? Because it feels like Fletcher sometimes gets the rub, but Takeshita gets the rub, and now we're just going to add another guy in the mix.
Well, let me throw this at you real quick because we know they love to do it. What if it's not just one member? What if it's two members? And what if those two members are the EVPs? Right?
Oh,
They need cover. They were shredding stuff.
right. Because he just
Who
said,
do
who
they
said
not
it's
like?
only 5 of us. He didn't say it's
Six or
6 of
yeah,
us.
yeah. He didn't specify a number. So you could have the EVPs get cover from Don Callis, right? So now they got protection and Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Brian Cage, Lance Archer. They're
aligned with the
going after
family.
Kenny Omega because they
Yep.
fucking don't like Kenny Omega, right? They fired him as the EVP, but they couldn't,
Mhm.
And then there you go. You got a tag match of the EVPs versus Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Come on. You know what I mean? That writes itself right there. That match is going to be for all the hardcore fans.